So one of the worst things you can do as a newer artist releasing music for the very first time is focusing too much on the numbers earlier on. Now, one of the things I've been noticing more often online are these newer artists posting on Reddit asking questions like, I'm about to release my first song, how many streams is considered good? Or I just released my first song and I got 500 streams. Is that good? Now, to me, this is just a very weird question to ask because it's like, what does it really matter at this point? This is your very first release. Someone can say 10,000 streams is considered good, and another person can say 10 million streams is considered good for your very first song. And I'm like, well, anything over zero is considered good because it's your very first song. Now, the problem with focusing too much on the numbers early on is that you're just training and reinforcing this results driven mindset in a stage of your career that it really doesn't make any sense. And it's just going to lead to frustration and disappointment because you have to remember that what you're dealing with is art and music, which what's considered good is often very subjective. And so, as a newer, unknown artist that no one's never heard of, it's really going to be difficult for you to build any traction with your very first few releases. Keep in mind that most people that release music to streaming platforms are considered hobbyists or developing artists. A vast majority, like 98%, according to Spotify's latest numbers that I've come across. So to me, it makes more sense for these artists to focus on development and not fixate on streaming numbers and other vanity metrics. So instead of focusing so much on results and numbers, I would suggest adopting a progress driven mindset where you're just focused on trying to get better than what you previously did. So if your first release gets 50 streams, great. That's 50 more than you previously did, and that's 50 more than a lot of other different artists that weren't willing to release music. So if you're a newer artist and you just started releasing music, what I would suggest is just focus on development, right? Focus on putting out more music, create more music, express yourself. Put yourself out there. Learn the business more. Get better at your craft. Learn how to create content to promote your music. And most importantly, have fun. And I think that's something that gets lost for a lot of newer artists because they put so much pressure on themselves to try to make a career out of music. You know, they take it so seriously up front and they focus on all these numbers and they just end up getting disappointed and frustrated at everything. I get it. You know, a lot of these newer artists hate their 9 to 5. They want to build a career off of music so they can finally quit and be able to pursue music full time. And they get impatient. They're taking it so seriously that they forget to have fun and they just lose the joy out of it. And I think that's a big mistake. Again, don't focus on the numbers and just really have fun with the process. Enjoy the process, enjoy the small wins, and continue to just grow and get better over time.